Hi, I'm Gerardo. I'm here with the Mass readings for Tuesday, February 13th, 2018, Tuesday of the 6th week in Ordinary Time, from the Lectionary 336. The first reading is from the book of James, chapter 1, verses 12 to 18. Blessed is he who perseveres in temptation, for when he has been proven, he will receive the crown of life that he promised to those who love him. No one experiencing temptation should say, I am being tempted by God. For God is not subject to temptation to evil, and he himself tempts no one. Rather, each person is tempted when lured and enticed by his desires. Then desire conceives and brings forth sin, and when sin reaches maturity, it gives birth to death. Do not be deceived, my beloved brothers and sisters. All good giving and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no alteration or shadow caused by change. He willed to give us birth by the word of truth, that we may be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. The word of the Lord. The Responsorial Psalm. Today's Responsorial Psalm is Psalm 94. The response is, Blessed the man you instruct, O Lord. Blessed the man you instruct, O Lord. Blessed the man whom you instruct, O Lord, whom by your law you teach, giving him rest from evil days. Blessed the man you instruct, O Lord, for the Lord will not cast off his people, nor abandon his inheritance. But judgment shall again be with justice, and all the upright of heart shall follow it. Blessed the man you instruct, O Lord. When I say, my foot is slipping, your mercy, O Lord, sustains me. When cares abound within me, your comfort gladdens my soul. Blessed the man you instruct, O Lord. Today's Gospel is the Gospel according to St. Mark, chapter 8, verses 14 to 21. The disciples had forgotten to bring bread, and they had only one loaf with them in the boat. Jesus enjoined them, Watch out, guard against the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod. They concluded among themselves that it was because they had no bread. When he became aware of this, he said to them, Why do you conclude that it is because you have no bread? Do you not yet understand or comprehend? Are your hearts hardened? Do you have eyes and not see, ears and not hear? Do you not remember when I broke the 5 loaves for the 5,000, how many wicker baskets full of fragments you picked up? They answered him, 12. When I broke the 7 loaves for the 4,000, how many full baskets of fragments did you pick up? They answered him, 7. He said to them, Do you still not understand? The Gospel of the Lord. Here are some thoughts on today's scripture. Yesterday, we saw the blindness of the Pharisees in asking Jesus to give some sign of his authority from God. Today, we see the blindness of Jesus' own disciples. This, of course, is pointing to our blindness in not recognizing the clear presence of God in our own lives. The disciples are traveling across the lake in the boat. They had forgotten to bring food with them, and there was only one loaf between them all. As they cross the lake, Jesus is talking to them. Keep your eyes open. Be on your guard against the yeast of the Pharisees and the yeast of Herod. For the Jews, yeast was a corrupting agent because it caused fermentation. That was why at the Pasch they ate unleavened, incorrupt bread. And Paul tells the Corinthians, Get rid of all the old yeast and make yourselves into a completely new batch of bread, unleavened, as you are meant to be. In 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7. Jesus is telling his disciples to avoid 2 opposing kinds of corruption, that of the Pharisees which is based on narrow-minded and intolerant legalism, and that of Herod, which is based on immoral and hedonistic pleasure-seeking. However, the disciples are not really listening to their master. They latch on to the word yeast and link it with their present obsession, not enough bread. Their lunch is the only thing on their minds. Jesus, of course, knows what is going on in their minds. He scolds them. You are worried about having no bread? Do you not understand? Have you no perception? Are your minds closed? Have you eyes that do not see? Ears that do not hear? Do you not remember when I broke the 5 loaves among the 5,000? How many baskets of leftovers did you pick up? 12, they answer. And when I broke the 7 loaves for the 4,000, how many baskets of leftovers did you collect? 7. And you still do not understand? 5 loaves for 5,000 with 12 baskets left over. 7 loaves for 4,000 with 7 baskets left over. And they, a mere dozen people, are worried about being short of food when Jesus is with them? Mark tends to be very hard on the disciples. They cannot see, they cannot hear. They fail to understand what is happening before their very eyes. But they are learning gradually, as we shall see. Of course, Mark is firing his shots not at the disciples, but at you and me. How much faith have we got in God's care for us? Can we hear? Can we see? Are we also without understanding? Thanks for listening. Have a blessed day.